Okay, you'll notice as I was, I don't know if you saw this, but I've got a bunch of example posts and example searches that I already performed in here. And so Gail had sent me her blog, and she said, hey, can you take a look at my blog? And so as I went back through Gail's blog, one of the things that I noticed that she was doing is when she wrote about a particular listing, and again, we're going to talk about this in Friday's class, but when she wrote about a particular listing, she was doing the right things up here, right? Because this is like, she could have just used the address for this listing, and maybe somewhere down here is the address, 110 Beachview Ave, right? That wouldn't have been a very good way to go. What she's done is she said, hey, this is a Black Rock waterfront condo. So if somebody was looking for a waterfront condo in Black Rock, Connecticut, right, her post shows up down here. Black Rock waterfront condo. Awesome. So then I want to get in here and I want to say, well, hold on, did she do the right things in here then to make sure that it shows in the first position or the third position even, as opposed to the fourth position? Every position that we lose in here is going to be clicks that we've lost to our blog. So we need to look like, here's a post that could potentially be generating traffic for her, and it probably is. But is she doing the right things to put it in the right place? And as we look through here, we're probably going to find that nowhere else in here did she use Black Rock waterfront condo as a keyword phrase. It's not in here once. Okay? So and this is an old post, and Gail's probably going, oh my goodness, I can't believe he pulled such an old post out of my blog, and it is. It's really old. But here's the thing, though. It still ranks, right? And this property is probably long since sold, and so what happens is if somebody gets in here and they wanted information right now about this property, I mean, maybe they could come over here, and for all I know, this is going to say, like, this is gone, right? This property's sold. It's no longer here, right? So that's not, like, more information about this particular property. So she really wants to think in terms of, okay, like, how could I have taken a post that's really old that still ranks, right? She would want to have had a link in here to, like, find other waterfront condos in Black Rock. Okay, because had she done that initially, this post is, I think it had like 800 views on it since it's been written, and that's not a ton, right? It might be getting 10 or 15 a month, but it's still 10 or 15 opportunities for her to get, a Black Rock waterfront condo in front of somebody. Had she done the proper SEO things in here in terms of, like, making sure she utilized her keyword phrase a couple of times, having a link that included her keyword phrase, this thing might be ranking in the first position, and she may have had 3 times as much traffic, which in this case would be 3 times as many opportunities to not pass them over to a page on her website that showed waterfront condos in Black Rock. So your old posts, I guess the reason I bring this up is because if you have old posts, you should absolutely go back and improve on those old posts. Get the keyword phrase in there 3 to 5 times. Make sure that you have a focused keyword phrase. Make sure that if the listing's sold, there's still an opportunity for them to find other listings just like that one. Okay, here it really comes to light here as we look at Hillcrest Heights subdivision in Warner Robin. And this was actually a search I pulled out of our analytics. This had been done, this exact search right here had been done 7 times in the last 30 days. Now, that's not a ton, right? But it's 7 opportunities for Anita to prove to somebody who's interested in something very specific that she is, in fact, the go-to person here. Here's the problem, is right away she's kind of disqualified herself. These posts, she wrote about a house selling. And so when we look at Hillcrest Heights subdivision in Warner Robins, she's telling them, my listing's sold. Right? So don't even click on this, because if you want a listing, this isn't it. She does a really good job in here of kind of giving me the layout of this house, and but what she's done is she's dated this thing, right? She really wanted to, and this is why in our SEO class I talk about writing these kind of subdivision posts and having them be timeless, right? She might consider coming back and making this post about the subdivision itself as opposed to being about one particular house that is for sale in that subdivision. Because what happens is she's continuing today to get people who are searching for info about the subdivision and they're finding this information about this one particular home. So really, and especially if you're just getting started on Active Rain, these types of posts, the type we looked at from Susan earlier about a condo complex, the type we're looking at right now from Anita about a subdivision, these things can generate just a ridiculous amount of traffic to your blog. But what happens if we don't make them timeless, if we just do them about one particular listing, they expire. And so what we do is we create this kind of scenario where a consumer lands here and they automatically disqualify it. Maybe because even if this was an active listing, maybe this isn't the exact listing they're looking for, and now they're off to try to find other listings in Warner Robins. Now, she does a good job here of giving you a chance to find other listings in Warner Robins, but in a perfect world, she would have been able to drop you on a page that gave you homes for sale in Hillcrest Heights. Okay, and I don't know that we necessarily have a chance to do that. In fact, if we were to click here, right, are we looking at homes for sale in Hillcrest Heights? No, we're just kind of looking at this general search, and then we have to come in here and we have to kind of perform the search, and it takes us more clicks, and it's not exactly what we wanted. And in our third class, in our bootcamp series, we'll talk about lead conversion and how every extra click we make them take, ends up losing traffic. So, really think about these old blog posts. Like, how can, if people are still landing on these things, they're still showing up in the search engines, what are my calls to action? Where does my link go? So in Gail's case, man, she really wants to have something in here that says, this listing sold, but please, here's other listings that are for waterfront condos in Blackford or in Black Rock.